Pro Football Talk, Myles Simmons is with us. You wrote about Chase Young and the injury. This is not some massive news like, oh, my God, the Saints are going to fall apart now. But it is part of a problem with the Saints in that it doesn't look like they're going to have a great season. What do you expect from the Saints? Because this quarterback thing is probably going to be a mess throughout, and at some point you do have to play Tyler Shugg to see what he's got.
You do, except, like, what do we really think Tyler Shugg has? I mean, good Lord, man. He's one of those.
They spent a high pick on him.
I know, my Lord. I watched that guy play, even the highlights. You look on YouTube, and, like, as we know, I'm not, like, the biggest draft guy. But once we get around there, I like to look at the quarterback highlights, at least see, get an idea of what is going to be coming into the league. And, like, you look at his highlight plays, and even those are like, like, in the National Football League, this ain't going to work, man. Like, last week when I was doing PFT Live, I called the Saints quarterback room, I believe, a steaming pile of dung. And, like, that's just what it looks like to me. So Chase Young can have a calf injury, not have a calf injury. But if you have two quarterbacks, as Bill Parcells says, you don't have, and those guys don't have any quarterbacks. And Spencer Rattler, God love him, like, good luck. But I don't know how we can have any expectation other than, like, 2 to 3 wins for the New Orleans Saints. And if they do better than that, boy, I'm gonna be looking at that and thinking, man, they really did something. Kellen Moore must be a great coach. Because, like, even if they get 5 wins, it's gonna be really astonishing to me. That's just because the quarterback situation is just that bad.
The win total's about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5. It's the lowest one.
What would you do? Would you go under?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like going under 5s.
Me either.
Because I think much of the NFL is kind of crunched to the middle, but as Myles said, it does look pretty bad.
I'm taking that under. Give me that under.
There you go. We're going to play this back at the
put
end
my
of the
money
year.
where my mouth is. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, let's talk about a game coming up. We talked about the Cowboys and the Eagles a lot. I want to go to the Friday game. We got the Chiefs and the Chargers. What do you expect in this one, and what do the Chargers have to do to take down the Chiefs here, which it's been a problem in that division?
Certainly has. I mean, I still expect the Chiefs to win the AFC West. One of the interesting things about the Chiefs is that, they won so many games last year kind of by the skin of their teeth. And I think that the Chiefs could be a better team this year and have a worse record, if that makes sense. Because just, you're not going to win that many games. Go 15-1 in the first, 16 games of the season and then be able to rest everybody in week 18. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I do think their offense should be better for a couple of reasons. A, they have my cousin, who's not actually my cousin, Josh Simmons, playing left tackle there now out of Ohio State. And he came along so quickly in his rehab from a season-ending knee injury in his last year at Ohio State. They rave about this kid in Kansas City. We'll see what he does against a formidable pass rush of the Chargers on Friday night, but I think that alone makes them a significantly better offense, because when you have a revolving door at left tackle as they did last year, and you have to move over your all-pro guard to play left tackle, it's just not fluid offensively. The other thing that they have is some healthy receivers. We talked about Rice, and he's not going to be available for the first 6 games, but you do have Hollywood Brown. You do have Xavier Worthy going into his second year. You do have a more svelte, as they say, Travis Kelce, who is also, I guess, a little bit more motivated because he's now engaged to one of the biggest music stars in the entire universe. So I think from that angle of it, they should be better offensively. Defensively, who knows? I mean, it's volatile. You can take a step forward, take a step back, but they still have Steve Spagnuolo. So I expect them to be good this year, and I think that they will win on Friday night for a few reasons. Andy Reid, one of the best there is when you have extra time, and they obviously have the whole offseason. There haven't been too many changes with the Chargers personnel, but we know that they're going to be tough. They're going to be hard-nosed. They're going to have to run the football. We'll see how healthy Najee Harris is. I mean, he says he's all right. He's been on the field in practice after suffering that eye injury over the 4th of July with apparent fireworks incident. He didn't talk about it. We'll see what happens. So I think the Chiefs will win Friday night. I don't know if they'll cover. I think that the line was, 5? I think it's the last I saw. I don't know if they'll cover because they could still make it close. But they're going to be good this year. And I think they will continue to open the season well. It's 3.
Yeah, Alex, the latest line is 3.
Ah, yeah.
There you go.
Let me see if
See if there's any update on that one. But yeah, Chargers, Chiefs coming up on Friday. Ooh, look at this. Pro Football Talk. The staff has made their 2025 NFL predictions.
Oh, we sure have.
Myles Simmons. First of all, explain to me, no one else can challenge the Texans in that division?
No.
Wow, that's blunt. All right.
No. The Colts,
Really?
please.
The
Daniel
Jags and
Jones,
the Colts?
please. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if Liam Cohen, we'll see what he can do, but I don't believe in that. One of the interesting things about the head coaching cycle is that there were 7 teams with coaching vacancies. 6 of them have former head coaches as coordinators, and the only one that doesn't is Liam Cohen with the Jags. He's got Grant Udinski, who's in his 20s still, which is just ridiculous to me because I am almost 33 years old. Like, come on now. And, we got to have coordinators that are at least my age, right? I think that that's a fair request of the entire NFL. And then they have another first-time defensive coordinator. And so that makes me a little bit nervous because, where is the experience on the staff? And also, I know James Gladstone personally because I work with him at the Rams. I really like James Gladstone, but again, when you are inexperienced in some of these positions, that could come with growing pains. So, yeah. And then, Titans, I don't believe in Brian Callahan. I'm really interested to see what Cam Ward can do this week. And then who else is in that division? There's one more. Did I say the Colts already? Yeah, Danny J. No thanks. So, yeah, it's Texans by default.
You have the Broncos as a wild card, but not the Chargers.
I do not. I also have the Raiders as a wild card in the 7th seed because I think Pete Carroll is a great coach. And, I think that division is going to be very, very tough, which is part of why I don't have the Chiefs as the number 1 overall seed in the AFC because, look, they're going to cannibalize each other in some way. But I think that the Raiders can do well in that division, especially because, look, I don't know what the Chargers really have offensively other than a very arm-talented Justin Herbert. And at this point in 2025, I don't believe as much in the scheme of a Greg Roman as I used to. And so the Chargers last year were 28th in passing attempts. If Justin Herbert, you should be at least in the top 15, if not top 10. So it's just the way they run that offense, I think, is not necessarily going to be the best for them in 2025 when you also have a Pete Carroll who basically wins 9-10 games each year. I don't know I guess I am predicting that they will do that if they get the 7th wild card. But, I see that as being better than what the Chargers are doing right now.
Myles Simmons from Pro Football Talk, of course, you can see so much of his work around the Peacock community. Love Below Deck. Also, apparently, Peacock, the unofficial home of Rutgers football, which I'm interested in. In the NFC, you have the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikes making the playoffs.
Yeah, not the Bears. I think that the NFC North is still going to be probably the best division in football this year. It was last year. I guess you could make the argument with the AFC West, but I would say the NFC North. You had 2 15-win teams. That division was excellent. I think what's going to be interesting to see is how J.J. McCarthy comes along. He's got the best head coach probably that he could have for this situation to Kevin O'Connell. He has a year of experience in that building. I think it's fair to have pretty decent expectations for him, even as there are probably going to be growing pains because it's a quarterback making his first few starts in the National Football League over the course of the first 4 or 5 games. But he also has the benefit of having the league's best receiver, for my money, in Justin Jefferson. He has one of the better tight ends in TJ Hawkinson. Once Jordan Addison comes back, he's got one of the better second receivers in the league. Adam Thielen is back in the building, a great veteran presence. So there's a lot there for J.J. McCarthy. And I think him not having a first-year head coach, and then with the Bears and Ben Johnson being a first-year head coach and Caleb Williams kind of needing to delete some bad habits, I feel like the Vikings have a better shot at making it with the young QB than the Bears do.
All right, I just have one question for you on here. And I also had the Commanders in my playoff picture, but I had the Eagles as well. No Eagles for you, and you have the Commanders winning the East.
Did I not put the Eagles in there? Oh, that might have been an oversight.
Oops. Oh, no. What do you do? Can you edit, take down that story, please? Lions, Rams, Commanders, Bucks, Packers, Vikings, Niners, no Eagles, defending champ, out. I love it. Got to stick with it. Come up with a strong take.
I got to stick with it. Well, here's the thing. I mean, the Commanders are going to win the division because nobody wins the division 2 years in a row in the NFC East. So I'm good with that. And I do think the 49ers are going to have a bounce back season. So, yeah, Eagles, they're not going to make it. They're not. I stick by it. Yeah, that's my math.
I like your confidence.
What can I say, Steve? I don't know. There's only 7 teams that can make it.
No, you know how serious people take this. You better come up with a real full-throated defense of this take on the Eagles.
I know. I need to go back and look at what I did last year in my 2024 season predictions. I can't remember.
Social media is coming for you.
I know that I had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, I said Chiefs over Packers last year. It was my pick for Super Bowl LAX. I got one of them right. So as long as the Chiefs keep, going to the AFC Championship game every year, which they have since 2018, might as well keep picking them.
Myles, you are the man. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, take care, guys.